Gunships, or medium boats, are naval weapons platforms that are available from the start, can be made at any friendly shipyard, and require basic materials to be built. The Colonial Strider, outfitted with 2 cannons and 2 machine guns, will cost you 500 basic materials. The Warden Rinnspeir Ornitier, equipped with a twin RPG launcher and 2 twin cannons, will set you back 450 basic materials. Bring the required basic materials and at least a can of diesel to a shipyard. To locate a shipyard, simply press M to open a map, and while holding Shift, left-click twice on the shipyard icon in the legend on the left to isolate all shipyards. Walk up to the pier of the shipyard and press E to open its menu. Hovering over the Gunships icon will give you more information on it, including its price. It will display as 90 times 5 basic materials or 100 times 5 basic materials. This means that if you left-click to place the blueprint of the gunship alongside the pier, walk up to it and hold down the left mouse button to build it, it will hammer in 5 basic materials per hammer stroke. If you walk on deck of the finished gunship and press E to open its inventory, you can see in the top left there is a little orange lock icon. This tells you that you can store the gunship in a reserve stockpile at a seaport. Underneath it, you will find the gunship's inventory, which shows you 1 free inventory slot that can contain any item, and 2, Warden, or 3, Colonial, dedicated ammunition slots that will hold the specific ammunition types for their respective weapons. The Colonial Strider can hold up to 30 40mm shells, 60 30mm shells, and 50 magazines of 12.7mm ammunition. And the Warden Ornitier can hold up to 40 RPGs and 80 30mm shells. On the right, you will find the fuel status panel and the name of the last driver, which is currently empty as the ship is brand new. In the actions panel in the bottom right, you can click the little lock icon, or press L, to lock the ship to you. You can also temporarily reserve the ship for your squad by pressing the Reserve for Squad button in the same actions panel. Doing so will show you the timer for the squad lock underneath the last driver's name. As with any newly built or assembled vehicle, it will come with a tiny amount of fuel in its fuel tank. You can refuel the ship by hand by putting a jerry can of diesel into your third equipment slot, pressing 3 to equip it, and holding down the left mouse button to start refueling the ship. If a fuel container with diesel is nearby, you can also open the ship's inventory by pressing Tab and then clicking the refuel button in the fuel panel. If no diesel is around, or you prefer to operate with petrol, you can open the inventory of the ship and click the Change Fuel button in the Actions panel. This will put the currently stored fuel from the fuel tank into your inventory and change the fuel type the ship uses. Clicking the Refuel button now with a petrol container nearby will refuel the ship with petrol. To store the gunship in a reserve stockpile, hop into the driver's seat. The location of the entry point for the driver is indicated on the deck by the circle inside the rectangle icon. Stand near it and press Q to enter the driver's seat. Sail towards the seaport until in the bottom left it shows press E to use seaport. Then press E to open the seaport's menu, select your reserve stockpile in the top right and click the Submit Vehicle button in the Actions panel to store the gunship. This will put the gunship into storage and you on the pier next to the seaport. The ammunitions used by the gunship cannons, machine guns and RPG launcher can all be made inside normal factories and mass production factories. To produce 30mm shells in the factory, you will need 80 basic materials and 40 explosive powder per crate of 20 30mm shells. Producing them in a mass production factory, however, will massively reduce the cost, and you will only need 450 basic materials and 220 explosive powder to make 9 crates of 20 shells each. When produced in the personal production queue, the finished crates will be reservable in a personal stockpile. This will be indicated by the line in orange saying reservable if you hover over the crates in your inventory. 40mm shells can be made inside the factory for 160 BMATs and 240 EMATs per crate of 20 shells, or made inside the MPF for a big discount that leads to a price of 880 BMATs and 1320 EMATs for a maximum order of 9 crates. Know that you will not be able to carry all necessary materials in one go to the MPF. Not in a normal truck, nor in a shipping container. The way around this is to start an order for 5 crates, retrieve the remaining BMATs and EMATs, go back to the MPF and cancel the existing order. This will put all the materials from the original order into your vehicle inventory and the inventory of the MPF. Then quickly put in an order for 9 crates and click the play button to start it. RPGs when produced in the factory will set you back 60 BMATs and 90 EMATs per crate of 15. When produced inside the mass production factory, they will cost you only 330 BMATs and 495 EMATs for a full order of 9 crates. The 12.7 ammunition for the Strider's machine guns can be manufactured at the factory at 100 basic materials per crate of 20 magazines, or produced at the mass production factory at a total cost of 550 basic materials for the maximum order of 9 crates. To retrieve your stored gunship, go to the seaport, open its inventory by pressing E and select your reserve stockpile in the top right. Select the vehicle category in the stockpile menu and left-click on the gunship to assemble it alongside the pier of the seaport. Refuel it and make sure it is locked. To be able to use the crates of ammunition, you will have to submit them to a base first. They cannot be submitted into the gunship's ammunition slots as crates. Drive the crates with shells or magazines towards any base with a stockpile, open the inventory of the base and right-click on the crates of ammunition and select Submit All to Stockpile. This will uncrate the munitions into the base stockpile. You can then pull the shells out by left-clicking their icon to retrieve 1 at a time, or shift left-clicking to retrieve 3 at a time. Drive towards your gunship, exit the vehicle and open its inventory. Transfer the ammunitions into your backpack and walk close to the gunship. Press E to open the ship's inventory and left-click the munitions to transfer it into the dedicated munition slots of the gunship. You can enter the spotter seat of the gunship by standing on the area on deck marked by the square with the 2 white rectangles, located across from the driver's seat, and pressing Q. While in the spotter seat, the camera will be zoomed out, and holding down the right mouse button while moving the mouse will make you spot around for a maximum distance of 230 meters in all directions. On the Rinnspeir Ornitier, you can access the RPG turret at the bow by standing behind it and pressing Q. While inside the turret, pressing R will reload one of the RPG launchers from the dedicated RPG inventory slot. Pressing R again will load the second launcher. Holding down the right mouse button will aim the turret and an aim line will show the trajectory the RPG will travel. The front-facing RPG turret has a maximum firing arc of about 160 degrees, and the RPGs have a maximum travel distance of 40 meters. Clicking the left mouse button while aiming will fire a single RPG. The 30mm twin cannons on the open deck can be operated by standing close to them and pressing Q to grab them. While operating the 30mm cannons, you can press R to reload them, 1 barrel at a time. Holding down the right mouse button will make you aim the cannon. They have a firing arc of about 120 degrees and a maximum range of 40 meters. Left-clicking while aiming the cannon will fire one of the barrels with barely any time required to fire the second barrel. The Strider's main 40mm bow cannon can be operated by standing close to its platform and pressing Q to hop into the gunner seat. Pressing R will reload the cannon from the dedicated 40mm ammo slot. Holding down the right mouse button will show the aim line and slowly turn the cannon towards the aim point. Aiming will show you the azimuth you are aiming at and the maximum range of the cannon, 40 meters. Pressing the left mouse button while aiming will fire the cannon. It has a maximum rotation of about 270 degrees. The 2 machine guns are located underneath the cabin and can be manned by standing close to them and pressing Q. Pressing R will load a new magazine into the machine gun and holding down the right mouse button will aim it. Pressing the left mouse button while aiming will fire the machine gun. The 30mm aft cannon can be entered by standing close to its platform and pressing Q. Pressing R while in the gunner seat will load a 30mm shell into the cannon and holding down the right mouse button will aim the cannon. This will reveal the aim line and show the maximum range of the cannon, 40 meters, and the azimuth you are currently aiming at. It has a maximum turn radius of about 270 degrees, and pressing the left mouse button while aiming will fire the cannon. When damaged, the gunships can be repaired by hand with a hammer and B-mats inside your inventory. Alternatively, you can sail the gunship next to the pier of a shipyard, make sure at least 50 basic materials are inside the shipyard's inventory, and pressing the Full Repair button in the Actions panel, which will instantly fully repair the gunship. As per usual, a big thank you to Crowd9er for helping out with the script, and a big thank you to Quinn for helping with part of the footage.